Hello, thank you for joining me for another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make one of these small portable little leather strops. You can use it in combination with a small file. This is the one I use to touch up the edges in your gear when you scuff them up. These things are very easy to make. This whole setup right here don't weigh nothing. I don't know what my hand gestures mean. Not even half a pound here, and I can use that to touch up anything I scuff up my gear, and I can just take my file and I can fix that. If I were to nick my edge, I can just take my file and just finish that, get the chip out of the way, and then turn to my strop and then just pull it away like that and get it back to a nice razor sharp edge. So without further ado, let's hit the intro, and when we get back, I'll show you how to make it. So I made mine out of a free piece of wood here. Sorry, clamp just fell on the ground. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clamp it off and I'm gonna cut a piece about that big. I figured this seems to be about the right size. These two are a little bit different, and that way I can hold it like this, or I can hold it in my hand and push it against the object, the knife or the axe or whatever, or I can hold it like that with a smaller blade. I got this little pocket knife that I carry around with me. I keep this clean and I try to keep it razor sharp, so when I'm processing game or when I'm eating meat, I break that out. So I can put it like that and just do something like this where I just touch up my edge after I'm done using it or after I scuff it up a bit, and that seems to work great for me. So let's get to it. I'm going to cut off an extra piece. Oh, and the other ingredient that I use is just a piece of leather. I bought this for like $4 or $5 at a hobby shop, and you just basically glue the two together. Now, these two are different. I'm gonna explain this real quick. These two are slightly different. You see that this one I've used a little bit. It's got white compound on it. Let's see if you can have a look there. And the rough side of the leather is up. Now, I've got two different ones that I've made. This one a little bit larger, rough side up. This one a little bit smaller, but still decent size, and that has the smooth side up. I can't tell a difference, honestly. It's a little easier to apply the crayon to this one that contains the stropping compound. It just seems to get in there and stick a little bit easier. As far as the finish on the blade, I don't really see a difference. But that said, this might provide a better finish simply because of this construction of the leather. If you look at the leather here, get in here, not tip over camera. Cameras are expensive. Anyway, this might slightly round your edge because you've got fibers that are coming up and touching the blade. Where did I put the plug? There, right there. So I don't know if you can. I'll use this thing. Maybe you can see this way too close. I don't know if this makes any sense to you at all. But as you run your blade across that, it's definitely gonna flex a little bit more than if you were to do it across a smooth surface like this. This would probably produce a little bit better edge. But honestly, in practice, I have not noticed any difference between the edges that I create with these two here. So let's get it going. I'm gonna cut a piece out and I'm gonna try to keep it to about the right length. About this length is good. Something you can slip in the top of your pack, that little zip pocket in the top, and throw in a file or a piece of ceramic or something that you're gonna use to get it from whatever mess you've created to you know, where you want it. So let's get going. All right, here we go. That's what we got. Let's get this out of the way. And like I said, I got this thing from a bit old crib. Hard for me to throw things away like that. If it's a nice piece of wood I can use for different things like this. I'll go ahead and kind of, no, not on this end. This is where the leather's going. I want that to be nice and sharp. So now the next trick is I want, like I showed here, I want a little piece for holding on to. You don't always want to grab that. Skin oil makes it a little bit harder to put, get a compound into it. So we'll set that boy aside. And what I'm gonna do is find out how big I want to make this. So I'm going to use this section out there, kind of slide it near to the end. You want a bit of a lip down here. You don't want to make that too right there to the end. You want it to hang over on the sides a bit because this is a rounded side. So I want that flat. As you can see, it is slightly rounded on the end here. I do want that flat, so I am going to sand that flat on each side, but I want to stick this, let me zoom out here, this is crazy. I want to stick it to that thing first. So I gotta decide which side do I want up, and I think I'm gonna continue. I want it easier to apply the stropping compound, so when I'm out in the field I can easily do that if I have to. I don't foresee me needing to do that. But so it's going to kind of stick like that. Ideally you want it perfectly flat, and I have ways to do that. If you need to do that, you can easily do that with a sanding block. Sand, you know. So, but this piece doesn't seem to be that bad. The way to do it is to take it, put it something you know is flat, and hold that up to a light. And if you see light here in the middle, you know it's convex. And if you see, or concave, think a cave is a cavity, cave there. And if you hold it up to the light the other way, and you see light on the edges here, you know that's convex. Anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick the leather to the side that I want to, because I'm gonna sand it flat. We'll do that real quick. If you've got anything to sand with, something you know is flat, you want to do that. Now the reason I want to put it on this side is because it has a rougher texture. Now that's not going to matter for your stropping. What it is going to do is going to allow whatever glue you're using to get into the wood a little bit better, and it might not even do that. I don't know. I'm not a woodworker, so correct me down in the comments if it doesn't matter. All right. So this is the block I want to use right here. I've got it nicely squared. The sides are flat, the top and bottom are flat. Doesn't matter what I choose. This is what happens when you try to sand end grain on a 220 grit belt. So I got to decide now how much space I want to grab onto, and I've already decided that I want about 2 inches of space here. So what I'm going to do is mark off 2 inches here, and get down there right about here. We're going to put a little mark right there. And that's where I know that I want my leather to go to. So just what I'm going to do is quite simple. Set this on here and give myself about 2 inches. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but close enough is where we're at. So I'm actually going to take this thing and I'm going to give myself a little bit of come out. I'm going to give myself a little bit of an overlap on the top and the sides. That just makes it a little easier to mate the piece of wood to the leather. Once it's all dried, I can cut the excess off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 2 inches in, and we're going to decide, I guess this is already about where I want it to be. So I'm going to move that up like that. This was cut a little long over here, but don't tell anybody. So that is going to be my handle here, and this is where I'm going to do this. Now basically I'm going to plop that on there right where I want it, and that's where I'm going to cut it. Now in interest, just to make everything even, I'm just going to cut it off right even with this other cut that's already there, and that's how you do it. And then that piece will get glued right there. And then once I get it on there, I'll just trim it up. And I do want a little bit of overhang, because when you clamp this thing together, you're going to be clamping between two pieces of wood. Can you even see this? Let's try that again. When you clamp this thing, you're going to be clamping against another piece of wood. Say, for example, you want another block that's going to go right here, and then you're just going to press these two together like a sandwich. You're going to leave it for 24 hours, and this is what you end up with. So we're going to do that. We're going to clamp these two together. We're going to glue this by smearing a bunch of glue on there. No, wrong one. We're going to smear a bunch of glue onto this guy. We're going to put our piece of leather on there, and happy day. And now I'm really deciding what I want to do, what top or bottom. I think I'm going to do top, like I already said, because it's just easier to put the honing compound on there, or stropping compound. I don't know what you call it. We call it a honing compound in the mill. We actually call it a rouge compound because it was put on a rouge wheel, and yeah, that was easy enough to remember. So let's go ahead and this. And now, what I use is just basically wood glue. It seems to do the job. I've never had one come off. I actually made another one here. The first one I made, I used wood glue, and it's lasted forever. So I mean, it's 4 years old. Give or take 4 years. I think it's about 4 years old. So I'm just going to put a little on here. You don't want a lot. It's better to add later than to have too much. So just going to run a bead down here like that, and then use my finger to spread it around. I'm going to hurt you. You want it to go right up to the edges. Make sure you get an even coating so it has a chance to evenly stick across the entire piece of leather. So really this is not hard at all. And it can be very inexpensive. Like, you got old wood laying around, just use it, and then cut a piece that you like, and use Elmer's glue if you want. It's basically the same as wood glue from what I've been told. So yeah, we'll get this all thing. And it doesn't have to be perfectly even, because when you press it, you press the piece of leather into it, it's going to squeeze out and fill those empty spaces. So I'm gonna just wipe my finger on my workbench like a slob. And here's my piece. Try to keep it relatively square. And I'm just going to slide it on top like that and gently press. You don't want to clamp it right away, because you see this slides around. As the material kind of squeezes out, this is going to want to slide around a bit. So, is that even square anymore? Just eyeballing this thing. And it doesn't necessarily matter if it's square, because we're going to cut it. So what I do is I stick it on my workbench, and I just kind of press it down like that. And correct it as needed. And basically now we're going to put this right here. I guess it needs to be right there. And you just clamp these two bits together. So now that that's clamped down, all it's left to do, set it aside and come back and check on it in 24 hours. And when you get it out, it's going to look a little bit like this. Minus that one's going to be hanging over a bit. All you got to do is take a sharp knife and just trim that excess off. It's really simple to do. I got a bit on this that I need to trim off. So again, you just take your knife or any sharp, a chisel, anything like that, and you just kind of scrape that off. Chisel it down. Now this side's going to be more difficult because it is fuzzier on that end. Now that's basically you trim it all the way off. Now next, I'm going to show you how to put the compound on there. You can choose white, green, they got browns, they got all kinds of stuff depending on what you're trying to polish. And really that's what you're doing, is you're polishing the edge. You're also removing the burr you make from sharpening with the file or the stone or whatever. So I'm going to choose the green compound. And what you're going to do is going to heat it up so that this basically melts on there. And I'm going to do it the wrong way. Make it hot enough so it's almost uncomfortable to touch. The better way to do this is put it in front of a heater, or press what is it called? Press an iron on it. What will you iron your clothes with? Now you don't want to get this too hot because it'll warp. once you get it hot so it's almost uncomfortable to touch, take your compound and just start coloring it. Rub it in there real good. It's going to fill all those little pores in the hide, the cow hide or whatever piece of leather you've got, deer hide. I don't know, uneven coverage, it does not necessarily matter, and I'll show you why. You want to get as much of this on there as you can. You don't really need a whole lot. I'm going to take another surface and rub it against that surface. A little bit more on there. Try to get an even coat. And the idea is you want this to get in there as deeply as possible. If you get too much in one spot like that, don't worry about it. We're going to fix that in a minute. Now, heat it again. Now this is where you're probably not going to want to use an iron to put on there because it's going to come off. You see how that liquefied? And now it's soaking into the leather. You want that. You want that. That's good. Trying to get a bit more on this end here. It's not cooperating. So this is just wax and it melts and it gets into surface. Now don't forget your edges. Don't matter if you get a little on the wood. And then you want to let that cool. Give it a few minutes here to cool down and whack it around or something. Don't worry about my workbench. That's why I got it, make it dirty. And that's basically it. Now that thing's a finished product. You can go ahead and use it. For an example, just take your knife, follow the same angle you were with your sharpening, or even come up another 1 or 2 degrees and create a micro bevel. And as you see, or maybe you don't, maybe you do, it will start to darken as you wipe your knife along there. And what it's doing is taking tiny shavings of the metal off. And when you file iron into a piece like this or any piece, it turns black. And that's how you know it's working. And get the tip of your knife on there. And there you go, see? And it produces a hair shaving sharp edge. So there you go. That is how I do it, and that's going to be a new tool in my kit. Like I said, I got a white one, and the one I just made is now doing well. I'm going to take the white one out with me. Like I said, I like these things. They work great for keeping your edge razor sharp. If you're having trouble with those feather sticks, maybe all you need to do is create that nicely shine polish on your edge. You can see that right there, and that just makes it slide through material just that much easier. This whole blade is nice, got a nice patina on it, it's carbon blade, but the edge itself is absolutely razor sharp. And you don't even, I mean, I would shave with this. I don't shave, but I would shave with this right here. So, piece of cake. They really don't cost that much. They don't take that much time. I've spent probably 15 minutes on this, even with all the silly mistakes I've made and repeating myself and burning my little strop here a bit. Like the torch is not the best way to heat it, but it is the quickest way. You can just simply hold it in front of a fire and just not too close, about the distance you'd cook a steak at, which is 3 seconds till it hurts, and hold it there for maybe 3 or 4 seconds. And take it away, melt that compound into the surface, get it nicely embedded in there, and you'll be golden. So anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that sub button, and if you don't like it, sub anyway, I don't know, we'll do what you want. Don't sub, I don't care. There you go. I'll see you on the next adventure. Bye.